Steps to dewinterizing your RV, what to use to clean every area of your RV, how to clean your RV interior, how to clean the RV exterior, and what to load your RV with, all the must-haves for the spring and summer seasons. All of that and much more on this week's episode of the SOWLE RV Podcast. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the SOWLE RV Podcast. I am Mark.
And I am Angie with SOWLE RV. Last week we talked about hobbies, and now this week we're going to move on to spring cleaning. I know it doesn't sound like much fun and certainly not a hobby. However, it is something that needs to be done because spring is right around the corner. Although I will say it's kind of hard to tell since Kansas has a few inches of snow that fell overnight. But spring is only 6 weeks away at the time of this podcast recording. So, just like it is the best time to begin spring cleaning in your home, now is also the best time to be thinking about spring cleaning in your RV, inside and out.
Yep.
As I think about that, now I realize I have 2 RVs to clean, but not to worry. We have the best spring cleaning tools to make it a breeze, and we are going to share those with you today. The first step is to dewinterize your RV if you plan to run any water through the lines while cleaning.
Dewinterizing your RV is a necessity before you begin your spring cleaning adventure. If you run water in your RV while it's still freezing outside, you're going to take the chance of water freezing up in the lines or bursting a line. Nobody wants to deal with that mess. So the first thing you must do is check the predicted temperatures for the upcoming weeks and be sure it is not supposed to freeze anymore in your area. If you still want to clean and it is supposed to freeze, make sure you winterize it after you have finished. It's really just best to wait until the last expected freeze.
Right. So how do you dewinterize your RV?
Well, one of the first things you're going to do is go ahead and take your water valves. If you have them open, go ahead and close all the water valves. You'll want to go ahead and leave the hot water heater bypassed at this time, just so you don't fill any of that antifreeze in the lines into your water heater. You'll still want to flush that water heater once you actually do the bypass line and fill it up. You can just take the anode rod out of the lower of it or the drain to drain that again once you fill it up. The hot water heater will build up with just sediment and everything that settles in the bottom of it. Getting that out and the calcium that builds up and deposits will make that last a lot longer and keep your hot water heater working more efficiently. So as I said, go ahead and close your water lines off if you've got them draining, your freshwater tank drained. You can fill your freshwater tank if you're going to prime the pump and actually run those lines out. Either way, if you hook up to city water or you're going to do the pump, you'll want to flush the lines out. Make sure you get all of your antifreeze out of the lines. Each P-trap inside the camper will have that RV antifreeze in it. Just run it through it. It'll flush all of that out. Once you are finished flushing all of your lines and getting that cleaned out, go ahead and just dump your gray and black water tank again. One thing that's always good if you want to keep fresh water in your camper and have it tasting okay, go ahead and run a treatment in that. At that point, you're pretty much ready to go again, and you're safe to run whatever you want with your water system.
And we will go ahead and put the link to our suggestions for that freshwater treatment on the podcast description.
It is time for TNT.
Tip number 1 is always read your manufacturer's handbook full of information for recommended cleaning agents.
Tip number 2, when cleaning the carpets inside of your RV, never soak the RV carpet. That moisture will wick down into the floor and actually get those really wet and take forever to dry and cause a mold issue if you do it too often. So go ahead and follow the instructions and just use a damp cloth.
Starting off on the tips on how to spring clean your RV, what to use to clean every area of your RV. It is especially important to use proper cleaning supplies in your RV so it does not get damaged by harsh chemicals. Again, always read your manufacturer's handbook full of information for recommending cleaning agents. If you are ever concerned about how any cleaning product may affect your RV, make sure you test it out in a small concealed area of your RV first. Never use normal household oven cleaners, drain cleaners, or bleach in an RV unless you're following manufacturer's guidelines. Upholstered furniture is where we're going to start first. In order to clean that, you will use a water-based vinyl cleaner. For the sink and shower fixtures, use a dish soap and water mixture. Difficult spots, use a mild mixture of vinegar and water. For the walls, most RV walls are paneling. The best product to use, again, is dish soap and warm water mixture. You can use an all-purpose cleaner for tough spots, but again, test that small area first. Wood cabinets, doors, tables, dust off with a soft cloth and a small amount of cleaning polish. Do not use ammonia or silicone oil-based products. Countertops, use dish soap and water mixture for general purpose spray cleaner. And carpet, always clean the carpets with soapy water mixture and paper towels immediately if something gets spilt. This will keep the stain from setting in too deep. If you have any deep carpet stains, please consider having them professionally cleaned as they are extremely sensitive to chemicals. Again, like Mark said earlier, never soak RV carpet. And finally, linoleum. Use a mixture of vinegar and water to clean linoleum and hardwood floors. Never use oil-based solvent. This can cause yellowing of linoleum flooring.
And also dry it out, causing it to crack.
Yeah.
And now it's time for SOWLE Facts and Current Events. This week's SOWLE fact is that according to Go.RVing, initial estimates say that there could be a little over 500,000 RV units shipped in 2021. Of that, almost 500,000 of those 5,000 are actually estimated to be towable campers, and 54,700 are estimated to be motorhomes.
Wow. This week's SOWLE current event is that in addition to the increased amount of new RVers, there is now a large increase in the construction of new campgrounds. KOA alone has 12 campgrounds currently under construction or pending in 7 different states in the U.S., including Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Nebraska, West Virginia, and Mississippi. They are also opening 2 more campgrounds in Canada. The next set of tips we have on Spring Clean Your RV is how to clean the RV interior. We have an entire list of what to clean on the inside of your RV for bedrooms, including those bunk rooms, living room, bathroom, kitchen, pet area, and your RV office, or wherever you store your important documents in your RV. That also includes what important documents you should carry with you in your RV. That is all on our website at SOWLERV.com in the article that was written for this podcast, so simply search for podcast episode number 10.
And now, it is time for Life and Soul of the Party.
Last week we asked you what are the top 8 most searched destinations for camping in the winter months. The answer is probably not surprising because the first 4 are in Florida, and they are Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. The next 2 are in Texas, and they are Houston and Fort Worth. Finally, the last 2 are Phoenix, Arizona, and San Diego, California.
All the warm states.
Right. Not a surprise, really.
No. Starting next week during the Life and Soul of the Party segment, we're going to answer your questions. Please let us know what you need to know. Ask us anything regarding RV camping.
Anything.
Yep. We would like to discuss all the emotions that go along with RV camping. Do you have any fears about RV camping? What about your frustrations? We know that there are a lot of frustrations out there during this time with the COVID and everything, but how about a story you want to share about an experience, whether it was embarrassing, scary, funny? We want to hear about it.
Absolutely.
No worries, no judgment.
No.
We will many more of hours later, especially during the upcoming severe weather segments.
Oh, do we ever have some stories to tell there?
Oh, there'll be some fun episodes. There are a few ways that you can ask your questions. The easiest way to simply call or text SOWLE RV at area code 913-303-0757. Leave us your questions by voicemail or text. No, we do not actually answer that phone if you call it. It is directed to a message response system, so call or text anytime.
Anytime.
You can also head over to our Facebook SOWLE RV Happy Campers group and leave your questions there. Please believe us, there are no stupid questions. We may give a stupid answer, but that's okay. Additionally, if you do call or text us, we want to be sure we let you know that we may use the call or text within SOWLE RV's blog, podcast, and or our videos.
So make sure you send those over.
Next on the list is cleaning the exterior of your RV. First, you're going to want to start with the roof itself. I use Dicor roof cleaner for both of our campers. They both have TPM roofs, so I get the Dicor roof cleaner and protectant, wash it all down, use a sponge to get everything cleaned up. First, I rinse it down with just water to get any loose debris up and anything that the water itself breaks down, then the cleaner. Once I'm done washing it all down, I just go ahead and inspect all the sealants around all of the roof vents and the edges of the camper. Once that is done, I'm going to move on to the awning. Extend that awning out. Go ahead and rinse it down, bottom side and top. Make sure you clean all the rails, look inside those, make sure there's no debris or limbs stuck inside there that's going to cause an issue when you use it in the spring here. With that cleaning of it, you're going to want to use there's a lot of people that like the magic mop. Gives them a little extension.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser Power Squeeze Mop.
There you go. That'll allow you to get up towards the top of the RV awning itself on the bottom side and top. You're probably going to need a ladder for this one to do it properly to get it set up, but washing the top and bottom side. Now they do say that once you actually use the cleaners and all, you should roll that awning back up and let it soak for a few minutes, letting those chemicals soak in, then undo it, wash it all down again with your mop, or don't use anything with a coarse abrasives. That'll take the coating off of the vinyl if you have it, or if you actually have a woven fabric that is in it, can break that down as well. So make sure that you're using something that's not going to deteriorate the material itself. Make sure all the awning arms are clear of debris. Once that's done, let it dry out before you roll that back up, and that'll take care of your awning itself. Then you're going to move on to the exterior. You're going to want to use a wash and wax on the outside of your rig. With this, we use the DOCA extension kit. Comes with dusters, cleaning mitts, tools to go ahead and clean windows.
Pretty much everything you need to clean it.
Yeah, I starts around $65 for it, but it gives you all the extensions to actually use on your camper. Pretty nice. If you have a fifth wheel with a interior fan, it'll give you the tools to go ahead and clean those fan blades off as well. Nice to have everything there. On that exterior though, go ahead and wash the whole exterior down. Once you're finished washing it down, you may need to go back over it with what they call black streak remover on some of your slide outs. The actual glues and adhesives they use actually leave a streak on the outside of your camper that's black. These products will help remove some of those that just regular soap and water or whatever cleaner you have won't get off. So you might want to invest a little bit into some of those. It'll help especially on the exterior of the aluminum campers around the windows. Those seem to be really bad about doing it. But get that outside washed up. Get a good coat of wax on it, whatever you prefer to use, whether a hand wax or a paste. Make sure that when you're done there, take all of your door openings, wipe those down. You're going to get a lot of just little loose debris and almost chalkiness down in those. Wipe those down really good and double check all your entry cabinets and so forth and get those washed out as well. And you'll get a lot of life out of that camper.
Yes.
Now, for those of you that have really dirty awnings that are very hard
You dirty
to
people.
that
I
are
didn't mean it like that.
that are very hard to clean, we recommend a 30-second outdoor cleaner. The links to those items are provided in the podcast description as well.
The SOWLE G.O.A.L. This week's segment of the SOWLE G.O.A.L is not going to be a story about our travels, but instead to let you know about our new magazine, appropriately called the SOWLE G.O.A.L.
This monthly magazine, delivered directly to your email inbox, will include all of the information that we discuss in the SOWLE RV blog, podcast, as well as the videos. If you would like to receive this free magazine from SOWLE RV every month, head over to SOWLERV.com. That is SOWLERV.com. Click on the SOWLE G.O.A.L monthly magazine from the menu and sign up today.
Food for the soul. In this week's segment of Food for the Soul, we have a super simple recipe for a spring salad to get you ready for that spring cleaning you're going to do soon, right? This is my personal recipe for a yummy ranch salad, appropriately called Angie's Kansas Ranch Salad. It includes cubed ham, cherry tomatoes, macaroni noodles, ranch dressing, and Colby Jack cheese. That recipe is available on our website on the podcast episode number 10. Next is tips on how to spring clean your RV, including loading the RV with all must-haves for the season. We are not going to begin to think that we know what everyone needs to have in their RV, as it is a second home, and we would never dream of suggesting what you must have in your home.
However, we can give you some suggestions on the best accessories and must-haves that work for us, and then you get to decide if it would work for you as well. For more suggestions, check out our updated website articles, the best camping accessories and must-haves, under the RV Camping Tips and Tricks tab.
We also have an awesome free RV spring cleaning checklist to share with you today. Head over to SOWLERV.com to print yours out. Same article as all the rest. Episode 10.
That is it for today's episode of the SOWLE RV podcast. We hope that we have answered a few of your questions about how to thoroughly spring clean your RV and get prepared for springtime camping. Don't forget to head over to SOWLERV.com and print out the free RV spring cleaning checklist from our podcast episode number 10. Also, remember, we are answering your questions next week in our Life and Soul of the Party segment. So be sure to text or call us with any questions you have about RV camping, and we will answer them.
Thanks so much for joining us today. As always, SOWLE RV encourages you to safely get out and live and explore the world around you. If you'd like to check out our show notes from today's episode, just go over to SOWLERV.com, click underneath podcast, and make sure you follow us on social media and be sure to hit that subscribe button below.